Hello, yoga teachers who both root and rise. Root to Rise is the intersection between self-inquiry, rooting, and teaching extraordinary yoga classes, rising. Welcome, my name is Sheri Fisher. I am one of the founders of Root to Rise. The Root to Rise yoga teaching method bridges the gap between your 200-hour yoga teacher training and teaching extraordinary yoga classes, no matter how much experience you have. So if you're a yoga teacher and you have something to share or you have something to learn about becoming a more confident yoga teacher, you are in the right place, and I am glad you're here. Today we're going to be pulling a page out of the book Standing Room Only, How to Be That Yoga Teacher, and more specifically, the second pillar of powerful teaching, which is character. And that's how you set the feel and the tone for the classes that you teach. Today I'd like to focus on a topic that I hope that you will enjoy as well, gratitude and the gifts of gratitude. And anytime I go to theme one of my yoga classes, I like to try it on myself and then determine how do I want to share this with the other students. Today I've invited a guest. Her name is Kolle Baca, and Kolle and I are good friends. We took our yoga teacher training together in 2010, and I will tell you, Kolle is the embodiment of gratitude. Everything about her lends itself to being grateful, appreciative, and kind. And so I'm really excited to have her here. She is the founder and lead trainer of a school called the Yoga Love Training. And it is a mobile service where she goes to different places around the country and she provides a 200 or a 300-hour yoga teacher training. And I will tell you, there is no one better to get your yoga teacher training through than Kolle Baca. So let me bring in Kolle. Good morning, Kolle. How are you today?
That was quite the introduction.
It is all true, and you know that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here with you.
I am so pleased to have you here. And I do mean that. You exude gratitude and kindness and just in everything that you do. I have never seen you not do that. So you're lovely to have here as a guest, especially to talk about this. Plus, I think you're one of the best yoga teachers I know. So how's that for gratitude, right?
Wow. Okay.
I thought that we would start with a quote about gratitude, and I've selected one, and I just want to get your take on how you feel about gratitude and maybe about this quote, because a lot of times when I'm theming a yoga class, I will start with a quote or an affirmation just to kind of set the tone. So here's my quote. Gratitude is the best medicine. It heals your mind, your body, and your spirit, and it attracts more things to be grateful for. What does that bring up for you?
Oh my gosh, so many things. So when I think of gratitude, I don't think of gratitude as a feeling or a state that changes, because gratitude is what we are literally. And so when I come back to that quote, I think sometimes we think that what that means is our world around us, people around us show up a certain way that I find pleasing. Mm-hmm. But what happens is when we embody gratitude, it's actually a paradigm shift from the inner to the outer. For example, if I hold fear in my heart, so I have these fear filters, right? The only way that I can see the world and receive the world is through fear, because they're passing through this. So if I am holding gratitude in my heart, the only way that I can see the world and receive the world is through gratitude. So now the miracle is that life does not have to show up a certain way for me to embody gratitude. It's that way. And it takes a little practice, choosing gratitude, but it's our natural state. So it's what we are. So it's very possible.
What I like about what you said is it's a choice that you have, and that you can choose to look at the world through whatever filter or filters that you want. And if you intentionally set the filter of gratitude and know that no matter what's happening in the world, you are choosing to see it through that lens, it helps put just a different light on anything and everything that is happening so that you see it through the lens of gratitude. So let's talk about now maybe a practical sense. Like, how does this show up? What are some ways that you have either expressed or received gratitude in your life?
Oh my goodness, so many. Well, what comes to mind is that I have a story about being a child. Yes. And it's Christmas time, and Grandma and Grandpa give me a pair of socks for Christmas. And my parents force me to write a thank you note for a present that I feel zero gratitude for. It's okay, you're a kid, that's what you do. Go 20 years forward. Now you're a young adult, and your grandma and grandpa give you a pair of socks. And it's something that you need and something you truly appreciate and are grateful for. And so the difference between the youngin and the older person is that when you're older, it's actually authentic. So right now, we're not talking about forcing gratitude. We're not making ourselves be grateful. That's not really possible. It really isn't. It doesn't even matter if you write a thank you note. If you're not grateful, the energy's not there. It's just different. So that being said, just that authenticity, sometimes gratitude is a little harder to get to. It is one of the ascending emotions that we experience as humans. But a very simple entry for gratitude would be praise, simple appreciation. So praise is the active form of simple appreciation. And guess what? Simple appreciation is actually available to every human being on the planet. So I can appreciate my good friend Sheri and our conversations, but a crude example would be a terrorist can appreciate their new weapon, okay? And I say that because we all make a common error, and that error is we think that what we appreciate is important, but it really is irrelevant. Okay. The important thing is that we appreciate, because we're able to appreciate that naturally and gracefully leads to gratitude, which naturally and gracefully leads to love, compassion, and then it just keeps spiraling upward. Praise, gratitude, love, praise, gratitude, love, like that. So it's a very natural, organic movement. And the fact that we can appreciate, the fact that we can be grateful, and the fact that we can love, it proves that we have goodness, that we are goodness in our heart and in our soul. So like that. Yeah.
And that's what you mean with the ascending. It continues to rise because
Yes.
it almost propels itself.
It does.
And I have to go back to your story about the socks. So I have three young adult children, 3 boys, and I remember growing up, and a birthday or a holiday came, and of course we would get practical gifts because we would be buying them anyway, and we thought, well, it's something to open, right? they would open the package of socks and they'd be like, whoosh, yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
And fast forward 20 years, they're now in their mid-20s, and they almost like hug the socks. They're like, this is the best gift, because now they can appreciate the value of them. In fact, my mother-in-law, her key signature gift is really just cool socks. Like, she goes and picks personalized socks for each of the boys, for each of us. I have these cool yoga socks, and she's just lovely. And the boys love them. They're like, Lucy picks the best socks.
So it's so fantastic, because they don't have to wear holy socks anymore. Right?
Right. And they value the socks, so they keep the pair. They go and they find the second one. So anyway, I can really relate to that story. And I like also what you said about it's the fact that we do appreciate and the energetics behind it, because it isn't necessarily the thank you note. I've received and I've sent lots of empty thank you notes, which is, here's my obligatory thank you note. and thank you. And they're like, yeah, I can sense the dryness in all this. So,
That's a good adjective, the dryness.
yeah. Yeah. The energy is not
I've
there.
opened a card before and literally could feel the love coming, just pouring out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yes.
Really.
And we talk about that in the third pillar of powerful teaching, which is connection. And it's that energetic connection with yourself, but also connection with others, which you and I know as yoga teachers, we use in our yoga studio when we are connecting with our students. And that's what helps build that glue between you and your students, but also among the students. So yeah, that the energetics are absolutely there. So, how would you recommend that a person maybe develop the habit of gratitude? You talked about that filter, that lens. How can we remind ourselves to stay in that space and the benefits of being in that space?
So I have another story. About a decade ago, I worked for the airlines here in Grand Junction. And I was already in a practice of gratitude and all of that, but I get to this job, and there were many times I looked up at the heavens and asked the question, "Why am I here?" And the reason for that question is I'm checking people in either at the front or at the gate. And if somebody missed their flight, if there's a the flight's delayed, I'm the person standing in front of the passenger, and all of the downward spiraling energy, whether it's angry or frustration or all of that, is coming at me. And it used to pretty much shake me up. My body would shake. It would shake me up. So at one point, I wrote on a little card, I wrote the word choose, CHOOSE, just the word choose. And I put it in front of all my computers. And for me, that was a reminder that in every moment I had the power to choose whether to criticize or whether to cultivate gratitude through appreciation. So and I want to state that criticizing isn't bad or wrong. It's not about that. But when we take the time, and sometimes I play this little game too, where you close your eyes and you think of a person or a place and you find reasons to criticize. And then you reflect on, how did that make me feel? Mm-hmm. So now you're picturing the same person or the same place, and you find reasons to appreciate or have gratitude. And then you check in, how does that make me feel? We have the choice, the power in every moment to choose what we want growing in our lives. Mm-hmm. And so that little note really helped me transcend that everything was coming at me, and rather it was just an opportunity to cultivate appreciation, to cultivate gratitude, and be that person. Instead of, obviously I was a trigger, but I could reflect kindness and compassion back, because I had no idea what this person's morning was. I didn't know what they had been through or gone through to get to this point. And I was able to see that when I made that simple choice, just that simple choice in every moment. Okay, I'm going to choose gratitude. So it was really lovely. So the whole flavor, the whole energy of my being shifted completely. And now I'm very grateful for having that job, very, very grateful. Yeah, it changed me.
I like the thought of the note choose and posting it in different places just as a reminder to pause. And it goes to what we talk about in yoga, which is how can you respond rather than react? Because it would be super easy, especially if somebody's energy and their anger was coming towards you, to immediately put your guard up and say, hey, this isn't my fault. This is your fault, or the airlines are delayed, or whatever. But holding that more receptive space, I think, and like you said, it's a reflection. We ping off of each other. If I share gratitude with you, even if you're still angry, it's got to diffuse the situation rather than ignite the situation. And so we do have a choice. And I think that reminder of choose helps you to pause and at least decide how you want to handle the situation from not only a logical standpoint, but also from an energetic standpoint. So I think that's really a helpful tip on gratitude and how to cultivate a different, a habit of gratitude. So let's transition in, because we've talked about how you have experienced gratitude. I've shared a little bit of my thoughts in it. How would you then, as a yoga teacher, bring this into your students? And again, this goes back to that second pillar of powerful teaching from the book Standing Room Only, How to Be That Yoga Teacher. And that pillar is character. And how do we bring a topic of gratitude and appreciation and everything we've talked about? How might you bring that into your students?
That's a really good question. It really is a beautiful thing, just all the people from all walks of life that are drawn to yoga, or maybe it's their first time to a yoga class. But that idea that everybody is unique, everybody brings their own persona into the class, but at the same time, when we're focused on gratitude, we all meet where we're the same. Mm-hmm. And so the idea with yoga, which I love, one of my favorite things about yoga is that it's a come as you are practice. So I don't have to wait. I don't have to come to class. I don't have to wait till I'm more flexible or till my abs are stronger, all of these things that run in our minds. So it's truly a come as you are practice. And how gratitude is cultivated for me and then projected out into the world or into the class is that reminding people that it's a come as you are, reminding people to tune into the body and tune into the breath, because it's super smart, the body is, and it tells you what you need. And so I also tell people you don't have to do everything I say. So tune into the body. One of the things that I like to do when I'm adjusting is that when somebody needs to catch their breath or needs to take a break and they find a restorative pose, such as balasana, child's pose, or, ragdoll, I like to go to them and make sure that I give them an adjustment, and give them a little yoga love. And because I think sometimes we need to be reminded that it's okay to take care of my body in this class. And so when everybody else is, who knows, doing half moon and somebody is in balasana or child's pose, I go in and I give them a nice yoga love adjustment. And it's kind of confirmation that, hey, it is totally fine and okay for you to be in this posture, taking care of yourself. As a matter of fact, it's my preference. I love to see people taking care of themselves in my classes. So, that's one way.
And it almost sounds like you're just showing gratitude that they're there. I will tell you, anytime I teach and I'm either checking people in or welcoming them, the gratitude is just pouring out of my heart, because I'm like, you are choosing to be here with me. And I am also choosing to be here fully with you. And that exchange of gratitude, even as you're just welcoming somebody into the studio, already sets the tone for the class that you're about to teach. And I can imagine, even from some of the things we've talked about today, maybe even bringing in some note cards that they could write the word choose on that note card, set it up at the top of their mat, and maybe weave in some things throughout the practice. You choose every moment, every breath. You have a choice in here to choose. How do you want to experience this practice, this pose, this breath, and just that reminder of gratitude and that source of gratitude. Is there anything else that you would like to share today on gratitude, on how you theme yoga classes, on anything that you would like to share with our yoga teachers?
Well, I'd like to express gratitude for you. And I like to tell you that I love the way you articulate. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing and for having me join you, because it's real easy to be grateful right now in this moment. Thank you.
I always feel grateful when I'm with you, Kolle. Kolle, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge. And again, I'll say one more time, if you have the opportunity to take any class and any teacher training from Kolle, jump on it. All right, Kolle, thanks so much. All right, back to me. And now it's time for your coaching challenge. And you know what that is I ask you to take something that we've talked about today and translate it into your own yoga practice, your life, and your teaching practice. So here are a couple thoughts. First, how can you bring more gratitude? How can you be more concentrated on what those filters are and come from a place of choosing? So maybe it's writing some signs around your house on little Post-it notes, posting it on your dashboard, on your bathroom mirror, on your computer, just as a reminder to choose in each moment how you want to approach whatever's happening in your life around you. And then secondly, maybe it's doing something that Kolle talked about, which is after you get done watching this video, take a couple of breaths and sit in the space of criticism and notice in your body, how does that feel? What does it feel like? What are your thoughts? What are the body sensations that are happening? And then pause and switch over to a place of gratitude. And you could do gratitude or love or compassion or whatever resonates with you, and then sit there for a few minutes in that space and notice the differences between the two. Because like Kolle said, it's an energetic thing. And I think that also will help you to bring it into your students. All right, that's it for this time, and I just want to thank Kolle Baca again. And we bring you this information to help you increase your knowledge, which then increases your confidence and makes you a better yoga teacher. And that's our goal with Root to Rise Yogis, is to make you a better yoga teacher. If you'd like to get your hands on the book Standing Room Only, How to Be That Yoga Teacher, we've included the link in our show notes so you can check that out. And in that book, we talk about the 5 pillars of powerful teaching, which include communication, character, which we talked a lot about today, connection, commitment, and consideration. So I hope that you will check it out. It's been my pleasure to be here with you today and with our guest, Kolle Baca. And I will hopefully see you in our Facebook group, which is called the Yoga Teacher Gathering Space. And it's where we talk about all things yoga, and we root and rise together in our quest to become better yoga teachers. We'll see you soon.